Now at 10, rain is moving back in tonight. Even heavier rain expected overnight with the potential for flooding. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is timing it all out for us, and she joins us now. So, Rach, how much rain are we talking about?
I think most of the state picks up about 2 to 4 inches of rain, but there could be some higher amounts in banding up to 5 or even 6 inches. And I think that really may be favored in the Northwest Hills. Some areas already saw heavy rain today, and others stayed mostly dry and even saw a bit of sunshine. But the rain, again, moving back in, and we are all going to be getting it this time overnight and into the day tomorrow, at least off and on. A flood watch is in effect until 8 p.m. tomorrow night. In terms of the impact, we're looking at a risk for scattered flash flooding issues, an impact to outdoor plans during the day tomorrow, extra time for the morning commuters. There definitely could be some big puddles out there. And just a reminder not to drive through them, and check the sump pump if your basement sometimes floods. So again, we've got some rain moving back in. Nothing that's going to contribute to any flooding at the moment, but you can see some of those heavier downpours and rumbles of thunder. That's the kind of stuff that'll be heading in overnight into tomorrow. All of this rain and the lightning that you see to the south kind of moves in and pivots around as we head through the day tomorrow, as a storm kind of stalls and spins nearly overhead for a couple of days. Numerous flooding issues, and flooding issues more likely from Hartford on west through Waterbury and Danbury. This is from the Weather Prediction Center. And while flooding is still possible for the eastern half of the state, including down through New Haven, which is in central Connecticut, it may be more hit or miss in nature. But I did want to let you know where it is more likely and slightly less likely, but still on the table as we head through the day tomorrow. And we're going to talk about when the rain ends, because it's going to have trouble coming to an end and drying out. Your full forecast, lots to get to coming up, Brent.
All right, Rachel, thank you. And as Rach just said, a lot of rain is expected to roll into the state. It could cause some flooding in some areas. So Fox 61's Kayla Cade talked with an expert about how to prepare and what you should do if you get flooding in your home.
With several inches of rain possible, flooding could quickly become a concern for some communities. Experts say there are a few things you can do now to help protect your property before the storm moves in.
I think I learned a long time ago not to stress myself out too much.
Diane Bennett is not worried about the upcoming storms. She's prepared.
Just stay ready, then I don't have to get ready.
She says she already has the essentials stocked in her house for emergencies, including extra resources if the storm knocks the power out.
So just having flashlights available all the time. And I have a little mini generator that I just keep charged so that if there's ever an emergency.
She says her basement used to flood. Now she makes sure her items doesn't get damaged if it happens again.
We have things up on like pallets or things that I know that are waterproof, or moving things to other parts of the basement.
But if you're not ready for the heavy rain like Bennett, there are things you can do beforehand.
Make sure that your gutters are clean, make sure that your downspouts are clean, and water has a clean path to run off, but also run away from your property.
Leslie Kafour owns the restoration company Paul Davis. He says if your home floods, you need to act fast and call an expert.
The longer you let water sit, the more impact that it has, or the more damage that it has.
As for Bennett, she says it's important to remember the rain is needed, but so is the preparation for it.
Good luck to everyone. We need the water, right? We can't hate rain. We need rain. Rain is essential. But I hope everyone stays dry and safe.
Flood restoration experts say acting quickly after water damage can help prevent more serious issues like mold. For more flood preparedness tips, visit fox61.com. In West Hartford, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
And meanwhile, people in Waterbury are dealing with another major water main break, and this one is impacting thousands of homes and businesses. Fox 61's Tim Latow has the latest on the damage and when water service is expected to be restored there.
Crews have been working since early Tuesday morning to repair this water main break. City leaders tell us people will likely lose water overnight. Water restoration is expected to take several days.
That means that tank is going to run dry over the next several hours.
Looks like a river, sounds like a river, but it's not a river. Just one of Waterbury's large-scale water main breaks.
We have probably several hundred a year of smaller water main breaks that occur. This one of this magnitude is a little bit unusual, affecting this many people.
Nearly 5,200 homes and businesses in the Bunker Hill neighborhood are set to lose their water overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. Water service won't be restored until Friday at the earliest, when new adapters are able to be fit onto the pipe.
So if everything goes as planned, we should have this all buttoned up by the end of the week, at the beginning of the weekend. That's what we're looking at right now.
At that point, affected homes will be under a boil water order. While some parts of Waterbury's water main system are more than 130 years old, the pipe that broke was installed in 2008. It has a 25-degree bend, which burst.
It's got the thinner wires that go through it. They corrode, and that's what lets go. So a lot of it is the age of the pipes and just the natural aging of them.
Kaner Tech High School became fortified with a moat on one side. Crews had to put up a dirt wall 30 feet long. Thankfully, they could rely on this retaining wall the rest of the way. The school's chief of engineering says the building's water supply is not affected.
As of right now, the building does still have water, domestic water and fire service. We believe those are fed from another main. So this damage does not limit water service to the building.
There's still a layer of muddy water inside the building. Most programs that were supposed to take place at the school Wednesday have shifted online. Waterbury's new water superintendent, Ramon Esponda, is now dealing with this mess just 3 weeks into his new job. Despite all there is to fix, he says the system is a strong foundation.
It's got some really good bones. We just need to give it a lot of TLC, get it up and running, address the issues of inventory.
Pernaruski says the water system receives updates every year. While the staff try to mitigate large water main breaks like this, he says they're inevitable.
This is a very old system. It's underground. We can't see everything that's there, and so it's going to continue to give us problems. This is not going to be the last time we're going to have a water main break here, no matter what we do.
City leaders are asking everyone who still has water to conserve it as much as possible, while the crews continue to work to restore service to the system. In Waterbury, Tim Lateau, Fox 61.
Bridgeport police are investigating that city's 5th homicide of the year. Police say 18-year-old Leon Richardson was shot around 6:45 last night on Catherine Street between Washington and Harrell Avenues. Officers found Richardson in the driver's seat of a car with a gunshot wound to the head. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The stepfather of a 12-year-old girl who died earlier this year was due back in court today, but the hearing did not take place. Anthony Federline is charged with sexual assault as police continue to investigate the death of 12-year-old Eve Rogers. Ahead of the scheduled hearing, family and friends gathered to remember Eve and call for justice. Tonight, Fox 61's Victoria Anderson shares their message as detectives work to determine who killed her.
Community and family members want answers after the death of 12-year-old Eve Rogers. Advocates and supporters stood outside of Hartford Superior Criminal Court as her stepfather was scheduled to appear inside.
She was a light to the world. She was just a bright light. It was positivity was what made Eve who Eve was.
Eve Rogers' family and supporters stood outside the courthouse, focusing not on the tragedy of her death, but on the light she brought through the darkness. Her biological father, Robert Rogers, stood proudly wearing her name and a heart on his hoodie, speaking with community members like Libby Protzman.
This is about Eve. You know, this isn't a protest. This isn't a witch hunt against homeschooling or DCF or the police department or her surviving family. This is about seeking justice and also protecting other children.
The handful of supporters stood together as the 12-year-old stepfather accused of assaulting the 12-year-old was scheduled to make his 4th court appearance. Anthony Federline, however, did not appear before a judge on the charges of first-degree sexual assault and risk of injury to a child. His case was continued. Outside, Eve's biological father begged the community to think before they speak on the death of his daughter, specifically any assumptions surrounding Eve's siblings.
People seem to forget that there's 5 other children involved in this. A lot of the comments being made online are unfair to Eve's 5 siblings.
Police have yet to charge anyone for Eve's death. However, toxicology reports revealed the cause of death was linked to a lethal amount of an over-the-counter allergy and cold medication. Just one of many unanswered questions.
We're not going to stop. We're coming to every hearing. We will be here as a reminder to the justice system, to the community.
Federline is scheduled to appear next in court on October 1st. In Hartford, Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.
One person was taken to the hospital after a fire in Waterbury. It happened around 2:45 this morning on Locust Street. The Waterbury Fire Department said smoke was visible coming from the second floor of the two-story building. They say one person was taken to the hospital with smoke inhalation, and 2 people who lived there are now displaced. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. And a day after a house fire left dozens of cats dead in Danielson, the shock is giving way to questions. Neighbors tell us they are heartbroken about the cats, but concerned about how all of them ended up under one roof. Fox 61's Skylar Music has that story.
The rubble behind me is all that remains of a 2-story house that burned down early Monday morning. Neighbors tell us 6 people lived here with about 30 cats. Most of the cats did not survive. Now, some neighbors are wondering, was it safe to have so many cats in one home?
It's definitely concerning, to say the least, that they had that many. That seems like possible neglect.
Taylor Lundy says he doesn't know the family and he never went inside their house. But from what he could tell, he thinks his neighbors did not have the resources to care for dozens of cats. The Killingly Town Manager's office says there is no limit on the number of cats or dogs people can own. But Lundy says there should be more oversight in the wake of this fire.
If you are going to have that many, or if it's reported that you have that many, that someone comes and audits, your house or something like that.
Another neighbor, who did not want to go on camera, disagrees. She says she has 20 cats, 2 of which once belonged to the family who lost their house. The Danielson Fire Department was able to save 1 cat, which went to a veterinary hospital. Crews knocked down the house just hours after the fire was put out. Lundy says his wife could see some of what burned inside.
She did say that she saw a bit of trash and stuff inside her from what she thought was trash.
Again, one of the cats in the home was rescued, and one person who lived here was hurt. The fire chief and fire marshal have not yet said what caused this fire. In Danielson, Skylar Music, Fox 61.
New London fire officials say an electrical failure caused a deadly house fire on Chapel Drive. Investigators say a faulty first-floor outlet generated enough heat to ignite nearby materials. 2 people were killed in the July 20th fire. Officials also found there were no working smoke alarms on either floor of that home, and the fire marshal is now urging residents to test their alarms and have an electrician check out any warm outlets, flickering lights, or frequently tripped breaker.